Yo, what is up, fight fans? Welcome back to SBAA Nation. My name is Keith, aka Keystone, and I'm here to break down UFC 316. I got a prop for you guys in every single fight that I love. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna build out a long shot over on a DFS platform. So let's dive right in. All right, first and foremost, if you are new to the channel, guys, definitely hit subscribe so you don't forget the channel. And go ahead and do me a favor and smash that thumbs up button too. It goes a long way to help a small creator like me grow in front of a broader audience on this place we call YouTube. So if you are new to the channel, also, you can sign up to my winnable free plan. It's 100% free, guys. You get bonus slips, you get slips early, you get access deals to VIP early a lot of times before I can put it up on the internet like this on YouTube. And if you want to come try all the best stuff, all my best slips, those are available right here on this VIP day pass. If you use promo code UFC, it's going to take 50% off. So let's get into the picks. We have a nice card here. This is actually looking like it's going to be a fun event. I pretty much identified a prop. There's a few fights that I'm a little iffy. They're kind of tough, but we're going to actually start with the main event, and then we're going to work our way back. So we're going to start with Marab versus Sugashan. This is the second time these guys will be meeting. As the week has gone on, I'm actually starting to kind of lean towards O'Malley, but one thing I'm actually very confident in over here on Better Picks. If you're not on Better yet, they are amazing. They have a web browser. They have a phone app. And if you can see it right there on the bottom left part of the screen, brand new users now get a free $10, no deposit necessary. So I'm literally going to give you a chance for absolutely free just by signing up. You get that free $10 with the link down below or with promo code Keith. You're going to have a chance to win $1,000 on this play. So let's stack it up. So one thing I am very confident in, even though I think Sean can win this fight as the week has gone on, is I still like Bilal's fantasy points. And they have a pretty good scoring system over here. Takedowns, reversal sweep. He probably won't get a knockdown, probably gets a decision win, but I think he'll do enough in the striking, control time, and takedowns to have a pretty good shot to hit this. And then if he ends up winning in a decision, this is almost a lock to me. So that's going to be play number one. This is a very tricky fight. I've heard a lot of mixed opinions this week around the community, and it's tough because I could see a world where Kayla just comes out and steamrolls. She didn't look exactly terrific making that weight cut, but the girl still looks really good. But my gut is telling me the longer and longer this fight goes, the more and more the chance Pena actually has to kind of still it late. So I've kind of looked at everything. And I've looked at the fight time, and I've looked at the significant strike line. This has come down very, very much. This was at 70 not that long ago, so this has really gotten sharper. The fantasy points, if she wins in the first couple rounds, she's absolutely going to hit this. I do think that she probably has a pretty good chance of hitting this too as the fight goes on. So this is probably going to be the pick over 3.5 takedowns. Now, if she ends this fight early, there's no way she's going to hit this because if she gets an early finish, well, then the fight she ain't going to need 4 takedowns. But my preferred pick would have been the under 70.5 strikes, but this is just too low now. It's actually a tough decision. And, I've heard very mixed opinions about this fight time right here. I am leaning the over. If you like that more than the takedown, you can also play this as well. So that's going to be pick number 2. In this Goslam Pfeiffer fight, Goslam, very durable fighter, never actually been knocked out. I know Joe Pfeiffer has talked about he wants to be the first one to do it, but the dude's head, Goslam, is literally made of steel. If Pfeiffer's touching him up and it's not really happening, he's probably going to force some grappling. I think that actually is his easiest path to success. But I'm just trusting the durability of a guy like Gaslam. I think there's a little bit of too much overrated hype surrounding this gentleman, Joe Pfeiffer. He is a very good fighter, but my gut is telling me that this fight is actually going to go to a decision. So I actually really prefer either this 12.5 fight time over right here, or you can take the fantasy points under, whatever you prefer. So in this one, we're actually just going to take the 12.5 minutes over. So that's 3 picks, and that pays 5x. I would prefer on a site like Better to reach that 4th pick. We can kind of pick I believe they'll let us do 8 picks. So I can kind of bounce around, but we will cover a prop in every fight. This mixed Batista fight, I think that this kid Patchy Mix, he's not really a kid actually, but I think he's got a pretty good chance to come in here, and I think he wants to make a statement. So this is one way we could really boost this up, and we can do Patty Mix to get a finish. I would have loved his fantasy points, but it's not here, unfortunately. And yeah, I think that would probably be the pick. I think he comes out. I think he's got something to prove. Got a chip on his shoulder. It's his UFC debut, but he's a well-established fighter in other leagues. I'm thinking that this has got a pretty good shot for a boost for Patty Mix to get a finish. So this fight right here, also very tricky. You never know which Kevin Holland is going to show up. That is a theme. If you've ever watched a Kevin Holland fight, then well, you know this to be true. I do think, however, this is a fight that I kind of actually do want to back Kevin Holland in. I think he has more paths to victory. I think he's catching Vincent over here at a very good time. Vincent's getting older, a lot of wear and tear on the body. And Holland actually did look pretty good in his last fight. So I'm hoping he shows up. I would honestly prefer probably just this finish line. So that's what we're going to roll with. And then this is a very tricky fight right here. This Silva Van fight. Bruno Silva is actually a pretty dangerous guy. I don't. Van has elite takedown defense, so I don't even know if he gets this like one takedown. And if it stays standing, I do think Van will probably touch him up as long as he can avoid big thunderous power shots from Bruno. I think there's a very strong chance that he just constantly touches this guy up. I do think he can hit his fantasy points even without a finish. And I do think that there is a chance he could get a finish. So I actually would prefer these fantasy points, I think, a little more than over these this fight time. But my gut is telling me this goes to a decision. And you can see, though, we get 0.2 per strike and 0.2 for significant strike. So these actually are stackable statistics. You might have 120 total strikes and 100 of them might be significant. So it is a decent scoring system. So give me Josh Van over 89.5 fantasy points. Guys, usually a really good bet to hit his fantasy line in any fight that he's in. This Mirzakhanov, I'll tell you what, this guy is really good. He's highly skilled. I do think he's going to finish. But the problem I have is this is a huge number, and he's kind of a low volume, takes his time sometimes coming out of the gate. A lot of his finishes in his UFC career have actually been in like the late second to early third round range. So I think this is actually a very tough fight to predict here. This fight time would make sense, like I just said, because it's at 6 in a lot of sites. Like Underdog has it at 6. But I just kind of said, hey, he kind of finishes in late second, early third a lot of his times up until this point. Now his opponent is actually a really big dude, but he has been finished. He's definitely shown some signs of not having the strongest chin. We call it chinny in this industry. And he's also got like a 10-inch reach advantage. So I do think Osmont might take his time. I think this is going to be a tactical approach for him. The people who think this is going to end in the first round, they may be disappointed. I think that taking this fight time and predicting a later round knockout is the way to go. So that's what we're going to go ahead and do here. We're going to take Azamat Mirzakhanov to go over 5.5 minutes of fight time in this Ribeiro fight. All right, so we're at 7 picks, and this is worth 60x your money so far. Okay, so this Spivak Waldo Cortez Acosta fight, I actually do like violence in this fight. Spivak is a very aggressive wrestler. I do think that there is a chance. Waldo has, middle of the pack takedown defense, probably coming in at like somewhere in the 65% range. This is a heavyweight fight. Heavyweights a lot of times can find ways to finish fights. They're big dudes. They hit very hard. But I do think Sergey is a very low volume striker. He's only gone over this line right here. It was at 30.5. I liked it a little more there because now it's like, man, you would be really upset if you had those 2 strikes be the difference, winning and losing. I know this guy is going to attempt takedowns. I don't know if he'll get a third one, but I think this is a solid push line we could possibly look at. But I think another path may be this fight time right here. So we actually get a little bit into the third round, which is interesting. If Waldo can stuff the takedowns, there's a good chance this fight finishes. If this guy stands on his feet and tries to box with Waldo, he's probably going to get served. So we could look at a couple angles here. Waldo to get a finish if you think he is going to win. If you think Sergey is going to finish, which this is truly a pick'em fight for me, but I think I would slightly lean Sergey. Just taking him to get a finish, probably a pretty good bet, and taking him to get takedowns just in case, like that's what he's going to do. If he's having success and this fight gets deep where it actually goes to a decision, then this is probably a really good line for us to take that has some push potential baked into it as well. So that's going to be the pick. And so that maxes us out at 8 picks, guys. This pays 125x, meaning if you sign up to Better and just put your $10 for free that they give you, no deposit required, this is literally going to pay you 1,250 freaking bucks. Now, some of you guys, depending on what state you're in, I am personally in a state where they do not let us use what's called the dynamic. Well, I'm in what's called peer to peer. But a lot of you guys have the ability to dynamic this, and no matter depending on what the 7 out of 8 payout was, if it was like 5 or 6x, I can't even honestly look. But I would consider that, and it would probably cut your upside in half. Though this is kind of just a fun long shot, and let's hope we get lucky. Let's see if Better actually takes my slip. Sometimes I have location problems, and so yeah, I'm gonna just kind of go through this again real quick. You can take notes, take screenshot, do whatever you got to do. But we got Marab's fantasy points over. We got Kayla Harrison to get over 3.5 takedowns. We have Joe Pfeiffer, more fight time, 12.5 minutes. We have Patty Mix to get a finish. We have Kevin Holland to get a finish. We have Joshua Van over fantasy points. We have Azamat Mursakanov over 5.5 minutes of fight time. And we have Sergey Spivak to get over 2.0 takedowns. This is a push line. Guys, wouldn't that be something if we turned 10 bucks into 1250? Only over here on Better can you get that free 10 bucks, and only can you get it with the link down below. Okay, so guess what? We're not even done yet. I have another play for you. This is probably one you'd call a little safer, and it's actually going to be over here on Underdog. Now, if you're not on Underdog yet, and this app is legal in your state, there is something wrong with you. This is a must-own DFS app. If it is legal in your state, it's legal in a ton of places. They give you up to $1,000 deposit bonus if you use promo code SBAA. Guys, there's also a link down below. And it's very similar to that last one, but it's just these are some of my 3 favorite props right here that we mashed up. And the cool thing is, too, guys, if you look at this, they have boosts like everywhere. So I have a gimme pick that expires in, literally 17 hours. So I get another free pick that I can put a $40 max bet on anything I want. This is an NBA boost. It's I think 50% and it extends every game. I've had this one right here, the pick you're looking at. This had let's see what the details were. This had a big boost on it because this was a pretty safe lineup. And you can see it was an $80 entry to pay $428, 5.36 multiplier. But you got to understand, I beefed these fight times up. This was at 9.5 minutes, or this was at 9.5 minutes, and this one was at 10 minutes even. So I took them up just a little bit, trying to play it a little safer. And then Marab's fantasy points is literally one of my favorite props. It's one of my locks of the week. Even if he loses the fight, I still like Marab to hit this fantasy point lines. So you guys can lock this into on Underdog. They, like I said, they'll give you up to $1,000 if you sign up with promo code SBAA. And on top of all that, guys, if you made it this far in the video, if you sign up to either one of those apps, my number is also down below in the description. You just text me proof that you actually use the code and show me your transaction log of your first deposit, and you'll automatically be entered into one of my NFL Best Ball fantasy drafts. So it's pretty exciting. You get a lot of perks for using the right codes. Just make sure you do it right and use the links below and text me proof, boys. All right, that's all I got for you. Let's win some freaking cash on UFC 316. I'm excited about this card. And for you fight fans that are down there in the greater Atlanta area, anywhere near Atlanta, I will most likely be at UFC Fight Night in Atlanta next week watching Usman and Buckley in the main event. Should be a really good time. So definitely shoot me a text or drop a comment below if you are interested in maybe meeting up. I have one other creator friend that I think is going to be at that event as well. And then we will all, there's a bunch of us actually going to UFC 318 down in New Orleans later in July. So drop a comment. Let me know who you guys think is going to win the main events. Like I said, at first I was all kind of about Marab, but as the week has kind of gone on, I'm starting to really think this could be a Sugar Sean victory. I think it'll be a close fight. Marab's a beast. He's a really hard worker, just does a lot of things right. But you never know. If Sean, improves the takedown defense, I don't know. I think it's going to look a little different than the first fight. the style, the way that Marab's going to attack, I think he might just go full on crazy in this one and just shoot, shoot, shoot. It didn't really work that way in the first fight, believe it or not. He almost like kind of baited Sean in by like backing up at moments. I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna see, but I'll tell you this: I'm excited about it. Let's win some freaking money. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.